On the news tonight, Governor Adeleke signs Osun 2025 appropriation bill into law. Federal government says economic diplomacy of President Tinubu is yielding results. Former President Obasanjo blames leaders and followers of the problem facing Nigeria. And from the foreign scene, Biden declares National Day of Mourning for late President Carter. Good evening and welcome to the major report. I am Kayode Adibayo. Osun State Governor Senator Adeleke has signed the 427 billion naira 2025 appropriation bill into law. The governor signed the appropriation bill at the ESCO launch of Governor's office in the presence of his cabinet members and representatives of the legislative arm. Recall that the House of Assembly passed the bill after adding 37 billion naira to the 390 billion naira proposal presented to the legislature. In signing the 2025 budget entitled the Budget of Growth and Sustainable Development, Governor Adeleke commended the legislature and its cabinet members. He directed the Ministry of Economic Planning, Budget and Development to monitor the implementation process to ensure delivery according to targets and expectations. The governor also assured the residents that the budget will be rigorously implemented to meet all expectations. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale, says the economic diplomacy carried out by President Bola Tinubu around the world is generating the desired result. The minister said this while briefing State House correspondents after a meeting with the president in Lagos, adding that the president had embarked on fruitful economic diplomacy on all the continents. He noted that the president led the delegation to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia recently to ensure the success of the developing relationship between him and the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. The delegation also held talks with Saudi Exim Bank, the Saudi Development Fund, and the Saudi Agricultural and Livestock Investment Company to advance ongoing conversations about their investment in Nigeria. He said the Saudi Agricultural and Livestock Investment Company had increased its investment in Osun by 1.2 billion naira. Edo also said the president had taken steps to stabilize the Nigerian macroeconomic environment to encourage such investments in the country, noting that the takeaways from the visit included prospective investments, foreign exchange, and jobs for Nigerians. In the meantime, the World Bank has disbursed $1.5 billion loan to Nigeria following the federal government's implementation of key reforms, including removing fuel subsidies and introducing comprehensive tax policies. According to the bank, the loan is part of the Reforms for Economic Stabilization to Enable Transformation Development Policy Financing Initiative that will focus on internally displaced persons, education, and nutrition enhancement. The loan is said to be among the fastest disbursements Nigeria has received, with both tranches released in less than 6 months, while the second tranche, tied to the fulfillment of specific economic reform conditions, was disbursed last month. It was observed that the $1.5 billion loan disbursed to Nigeria was structured in 2 tranches with different maturity periods. The first tranche was a $750 million credit from the International Development Association featuring a 12-year maturity and a 6-year grace period. The second tranche is $750 million loan from the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, which has a 24-year payment period with an 11-year grace period. The World Bank commended the federal government for not only meeting the condition but exceeding expectations by deregulating the fuel markets, as it allowed petrol prices to align with international market rates and exchange rates, effectively ended the implicit subsidies that had burdened public finances. The presidency has demanded that the Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed retract what it called his inflammatory statement on the tax reform bill, saying it neither reflects the stance of the North nor the constructive dialogue needed between states and the federal government. Tinubu's special advisors on media and public communication, Mr. Sunday Dari, stated this in a post he shared on his X handle. Dawo was responding to Mohammed's statement during a Christmas homage by the Christian community at the government house in Bauchi. The governor opposed Tinubu's tax reform policies, describing them as anti-northern and favoring only a section of the country. He warned that if the policies continued, the northern region would show its true colors, emphasizing that such reforms could lead to economic setbacks and threaten national unity, urging the federal government to reconsider and adopt more inclusive policies. However, the presidency urged him to retract the confrontational remarks and redirect his focus towards productive dialogue with the federal government regarding any concerns about the Tax Reform Act. In the meantime, the telecommunication operators of Nigeria have warned that service disruptions are imminent unless tariffs are adjusted to account for escalating operational costs. The chairman of the Association of Licensed Telecommunications Operators of Nigeria, Mr. Gbenga Adebayo, issued a warning in a statement describing the telecom sector as under siege. Mr. Adebayo cited soaring operational costs driven by inflation, volatile exchange rates, and rising energy prices. He noted that despite these challenges, tariffs have remained unchanged, leaving operators struggling to maintain quality service and expand their networks. The telecom chief warned that without an immediate tariff adjustment, operators may resort to service schedule, leading to limited availability of telecom services in certain areas. He explained that operators may not be able to provide services in some areas and at some times of the day, leaving millions disconnected with significant economic fallout, as businesses will suffer from lack of connectivity, stalling growth, and innovation. Mr. Adebayo emphasized that the financial burden on operators has reached unsustainable levels, endangering the sector's ability to modernize and maintain critical infrastructure. Nigerians have expressed frustration over the rising cost of food and other essentials ahead of New Year celebration, as the market survey by OSBC News revealed an alarming increase in food prices, leaving people struggling to meet basic needs. Those who spoke in separate interviews with OSBC News crew at various markets in Osogbo, Osun State capital, appealed to government to come up with economic measures to ease the burden of hunger. Our reporter, John Oyelake, has the detail.
A market survey conducted by the OSBC team has uncovered a disturbing trend of skyrocketing food prices, scarcity of goods, and growing frustration among traders and consumers. The team visited several markets across Osogbo, engaging with traders and residents. The findings painted a dire picture. Prices are rising excessively, pushing many to the brink of despair. A spot check at one of the markets in Osogbo revealed the following prices. A full basket of dry pepper costs 3,000 naira, while medium and smaller baskets go for 2,500 naira and 1,500 naira. A bucket of minced pepper and tomato is priced at 3,500 naira. Chicken costs between 25,000 naira and 30,000 naira, while turkey sells for price of 80,000 naira. These price hikes have left consumers reeling, with many worried about how they will feed their families during the festive season. A trader, Mrs. Oyedele, who spoke with OSBC News, expressed frustration over the rising cost of goods.
We thank God for everything, because money no dey, because everybody no get money to buy the thing he like.
Customers are constantly complaining about the high prices. Speaking with another consumer, Mrs. Toyin Olajuwon shared similar concern, lamenting the cost of staple foods like rice, beans, and vegetables. Meat has become luxury.
Ó kọjá be careful nǹkan tá ra ní 2,000 tẹ́lẹ̀, àárà ní 6,000 sí. Ṣé o kò ti kọjá double bẹ́yẹn? Kò tiẹ̀ ṣe é rà, tẹ́ bá bèrè lé kò sí tó ṣe é rà. Gbogbo ẹ̀ ló wọ́n. Like òróró ń sìn, òróró tá ra ní 7,000. Gallon tẹ́lẹ̀ is 25 báyìí.
They called on the federal government to implement sound economic policies that will make life bearable for the people in the new year 2025. John Oyelake, reporting for OSBC News.
The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board has announced plan to commence registration for the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination in January. The board, which made this known in its bulletin obtained in Abuja, however failed to set specific date in January next year for the opening of portal and the rollout of the registration documents. According to the board, it has implemented comprehensive measures aimed at providing candidates and stakeholders with an unparalleled registration and examination experience. JAMB further stated that as part of its commitment to excellence, it has thoroughly reviewed all processes related to the conduct of the 2024 UTME. This review, according to the board, includes the generation of sufficient examination items to address the requirement of CBT exercise, as well as the accreditation of examination centers and the registration process leading up to the examination and results management. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has announced that the 125,000 barrels per day Warri Refining and Petrochemicals Company in Warri Delta State is now operational, barely a month after the commencement of the operations at the 60,000 barrel per day Old Port Harcourt Refinery. This was disclosed by the NNPCL Group Chief Executive Officer Adeleke during a tour of the facility, during which he addressed a tour team, which included the Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Farouk Ahmed. Before the tour commenced, Gary explained that the inspection aimed to show Nigerians the level of work completed so far, noting that although the repairs on the facility are not yet 100% complete, operations have commenced. Located in Epan, Uwe, and Ibiji, Warri, and commissioned in 1978, the petrochemical plant produces 13,000 metric tons per annum of polypropylene and 18,000 MTA of carbon black. The Nigerian Navy has launched an operation I told that story again. The Nigerian Navy has launched an operation codenamed Operation Delta Sanity 2 in furtherance of its mandate and drive to rid the Niger Delta region of oil thieves. This comes as the Navy expressed its readiness to deploy its newly acquired drones, attack helicopters, and other technological assets in combating oil thefts in the region. Speaking during the flag-off ceremony at Navy ship Pathfinder in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, revealed that the Operation Delta Sanity, which is a special maritime security operation in the Niger Delta, was designed to curb oil theft, pipeline vandalism, and other criminalities. Ogala said the operation was conceived towards ensuring a secure maritime domain for increased economic activities in line with the President Bola Tinubu's agenda for national economic prosperity and poverty eradication in the country. The Chief of Naval Staff noted that the operation recorded several successes, which led to the arrest of numerous vessels and suspects involved in oil theft, pointing out that it also led to the identification and deactivation of several illegal refining sites. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has attributed Nigeria's current challenges to both the actions of its leaders and the contributions of the followers. The former president stated this while appearing on a television program. He, however, urged Nigerians to remain hopeful and not lose faith as the new year begins, despite the difficulties facing the country. He also expressed confidence that Nigeria will soon assume its rightful position among nations, emphasizing that he remains a steadfast optimist about the country's future. Obasanjo also addressed the issue of U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's previous remarks about Nigeria, emphasizing the need for Nigeria to find a way to make Trump understand that the country is not what he described. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency has predicted dust haze from today to Wednesday nationwide. NIMET's weather outlook released in Abuja predicted a moderate dust haze today in the northern region with a visibility range of 2 to 5 kilometers. It forecast localized visibility of less than or equal to 1 kilometer throughout the forecast period. NIMET anticipated early morning mist of mud in the southern parts of the country and moderate dust haze with a visibility range of 2 kilometers to 5 kilometers during the forecast period. According to NIMET, thick dust haze is expected throughout the forecast period in the northern region on Wednesday. It warned the public should take necessary precautions as dust particles are in suspension. noting that people with asthmatic health conditions and other respiratory issues should be cautious of the present weather condition. The agency urged the public to adhere to safety advisories issued by relevant authorities and airline operators to get airport-specific weather reports. The Dean of the Cathedral of All Saints, Honorable Osun, has commended the children of Mama Comfort Farumbi for celebrating their mother who clocked 90. Honorable Ojo gave the commendation at a special birthday Thanksgiving service organized to welcome Mama Comfort Farumbi into Nonagenarian Club. OSBC reporter Oluchi Amuda completes the story.
It was a day of joy as families, friends, and well-wishers converged on All Saints Cathedral, Balogun Agoro in Osogbo, to celebrate Mama Comfort Farumbi, who joined the Nonagenarian Club. The birthday girl, surrounded by her loved ones, sang and danced in appreciation to God for giving her the grace to celebrate 90 years on earth. In his sermon at the Thanksgiving service, the Dean of the Cathedral, Venerable Moses Ojo, described Mama Farumbi as a shining example of strength, wisdom, and grace, who has continued to touch lives positively in true service to God and humanity.
She's so serviceable to the extent that she belongs to so many organizations of the church, Society of the Urban, then serving as secretaries, the son of the societies, Mama has really shown who God has made her to be. And that's why we are celebrating now.
Some of the children of Mama Comfort Farumbi, who spoke in separate interviews with OSBC News, appreciated their mother for her selfless service, care, love, and sacrifices to them. They noted remained instrumental to the height they have attained in life. They also expressed gratitude to God for blessing them with such a wonderful mother.
Mama is so caring about us. She brought us up right from the up to university level. I'm the first male child in the family. So all of us, God help us, and all of us are winners.
Today we are celebrating the goodness of God in our life, in the life of us, our children, because God has been faithful unto us. He has kept us. He has made today to be a glorious day. In fact, today is the Lord's day, and we will rejoice in it.
But we pray for our children, and thank God we are all successful.
The 90th birthday celebration and Thanksgiving service was followed by a grand reception where guests and well-wishers were fully entertained. Oluchi Amuda, OSBC News.
We will now walk on to our sports segments. The Confederation of African Football has fined Libya $50,000 and mandated that the country plays 2 matches behind closed doors following incidents of misconduct by supporters and officials during their 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifier against Republic of Benin last month in Benghazi. According to reports, the sanction follows a series of controversies surrounding Libya, including a highly publicized incident in October where Nigeria Super Eagles faced deliberate mistreatment ahead of an AFCON qualifier. Libya diverted the Nigerian team's aircraft to an unsafe airport, causing significant delays and forcing CAF to award Nigeria 3 points after the match was cancelled. CAF also dismissed Guinea's appeal to disqualify Tanzania from the 2024 AFCON, as Guinea alleged that Tanzania substitute Ibrahim Ahmed wore a shirt number 26 that was not listed on the official team sheet. However, CAF's disciplinary committee found no basis for the disqualification claim. Now, on the foreign scene, United States President Joe Biden has declared January 9, 2025 as a National Day of Mourning in honor of the late former President Jimmy Carter. United States President Biden ordered that flags be displayed at half-staff at the White House, all public buildings and grounds, at all military posts and naval stations, and on all naval vessels for a period of 30 days from former President Carter's death. He disclosed that similar arrangements applied to U.S. representatives in foreign countries at embassies, legations, consular offices, and other facilities abroad. Meanwhile, President Biden described the late Carter as an extraordinary leader, statesman, and humanitarian as he worked to eradicate disease, advance civil rights and human rights, promote free and fair elections. And with that report, we end the major report on OSBC TV tonight. The bulletin was edited by Michael Adeleke. I am Kayode Adebayo. Thanks for watching and good night.